Arsenal crushes Brugge 3-0, but it wasn't just a masterclass from Madueke and Martinelli. Today in the lab, we're dissecting the errors that gave them space for those screamers. 3 key mistakes, 1 tactical collapse. Discover the goal before it happens. Goal number 1. It starts innocently enough. A classic build-up from the back and a calm transition into positional play. At this stage, nothing signals the impending catastrophe. Let's freeze the frame. Look at the numbers. 6 Brugge defenders against just 3 active gunners. Theoretically, the situation is under full control. 2 other Arsenal players stay at the halfway line, completely out of the play. Yet, within this seemingly secure structure, Brugge's defense is about to invite the opponent into the box. Madueke has 50 meters of space and a direct opponent ahead. The rest of the attackers are tightly marked, and 1 Brugge defender acts as a free center-back for cover. So, where is the problem? Look at the 2 home midfielders. They are wasting energy marking Arsenal players who are standing at the halfway line, deep behind the ball. It's a systemic error. They are marking shadows instead of compacting the midfield. Madueke takes the risk and goes for it. He beats the first defender, and at that moment, panic breaks out in the host's ranks. Notice how the lack of immediate cover creates a highway to the goal. The attacker gets 13 meters of clear space. In modern football, that's an eternity. Plenty of time to make a decision and choose the best scenario. Only after Seyss is beaten does Onyedika react. The problem is, he starts 4 meters behind. His desperate attempt at a tactical foul is late and lacks conviction. Madueke is already unstoppable. A key detail. Jokeresz intelligently drifts to the right, dragging a defender with him and clearing the path. Now, only Ordoñez remains, and his behavior is extremely passive. Instead of closing the gap, he retreats in panic, surrendering ground. Then, at the crucial moment just before the shot, he takes a step aside, exposing the goal. At this level, that behavior is inexcusable. A natural winger doesn't waste gifts like this. Leaving a player of this caliber unmarked at the edge of the box is a death sentence. The precise strike into the top corner is just a formality after a series of fatal defensive decisions by Brugge. Goal number 2. For the second goal, the scenario repeats. Statically, Brugge appears well organized. 5 defenders against 4 attackers is a comfortable situation, but only on paper. The problem starts on the flank, where Tresoldi completely abandons the press, giving the opponents time and space to prepare a precision cross. Look at this distance. At the moment of the pass, Tresoldi is already 4 meters behind his opponent. This defensive negligence is about to trigger a landslide of errors that will cost the hosts another goal. The key to Arsenal's success here is their brilliant off-the-ball movement. Watch Odegaard. He aggressively drifts inside, forcing his defender to follow him. With this single run, he opens a wide vertical corridor for his teammate arriving from deep. Zubimendi charges into this open space with full momentum, enjoying perfect conditions to cross from the byline. Tresoldi is just a spectator in this play. It's worth noting, if Madueke and Tresoldi had switched markers in time, this cross might never have happened. Madueke, being closer to the goal, had the chance to block the ball's flight path, but communication was missing. The cross itself is only half the battle. Just before the delivery, Madueke seems under control. However, as the ball is in the air, Martinelli makes a cardinal mistake. He loses his spatial awareness. Instead of marking Madueke, he focuses on another Arsenal player who isn't even attacking the ball. Madueke, at full speed, ruthlessly exploits this moment of hesitation. He enters the defender's dead zone and finishes from point-blank range. Precise delivery, chaotic marking, and it's 2-0. Arsenal has once again exposed Brugge's lack of compactness. Goal number 3. The third goal is almost a mirror image of the first half issues. Once again, we see the same defensive disease in Brugge. Massive distances between formations and empty spaces that are an invitation to execution at this level. Despite their numerical advantage, their structure is about to crumble. Let's look at the distances. 4 Brugge defenders against just 2 Arsenal attackers. Does it seem safe? Far from it. The gaps between players range from 15 to 17 meters. This makes covering almost non-existent. At this point, Ordoñez should anticipate Martinelli's move and shift 5 to 6 meters towards CK. This small adjustment would have corrected the defensive geometry and allowed for an interception of the ball. Martinelli knocked 10 meters ahead. Instead of proactive positioning from Ordoñez, we get a desperate attempt by Onyedika, starting from deep in the field. But it's too late. Martinelli, in full stride, passes CK and enters the decisive phase of the play. Pure chaos ensues in Brugge's ranks. Both defenders, acting on impulse, rush toward the Brazilian, fearing a direct charge at the goal. Martinelli reads this moment perfectly. He exploits the fact that the defenders are caught on the wrong foot and cuts sharply inside. He has the option to pass to a wide-open Marino, but seeing Onyedika's passivity, he goes for the power play. Notice his foot placement. It's a textbook example of shooting technique when under zero pressure from the defense. Martinelli's strike is a display of ultimate precision, but for us, it's only the effect, not the cause. Remember, in the Champions League, when facing the league leader, giving them this much time to prepare a shot is a death sentence. Arsenal didn't have to work that hard here. They were given an invitation by Brugge that was impossible to decline. Final verdict. A lack of mutual cover, fatal space management, and passivity in key sectors of the pitch. These are the three main reasons for Club Brugge's defeat. The greatest chaos was seen in the Onyedika-Ordoñez duo, who became symbols of tactical paralysis in this match. The first goal, Onyedika ignored the need to cover Says, while Ordoñez retreated in panic before Madueke. By the third goal, the roles were reversed. This time, Ordoñez passively waited for events to unfold, and Onyedika merely stood by during Martinelli's shot. We also cannot forget the individual errors during the second strike. Tresoldi letting off the press and Michele losing his situational awareness completed the picture of destruction. Arsenal won this match in the mind and on the centimeters. Brugge left gaps that at this level cannot be patched with ambition alone. Thank you for joining the analysis at Genesis Football Lab. Subscribe to see the goal before it happens. See you next time.